A very good afternoon to all of you present here, and thank you for inviting me. After the two fantastic, magnificent ladies who just spoke, I can only say, I can only tell stories. I cannot give a speech like they did. My life has been like any other normal girl's. It is just that I have had the freedom to choose whatever I wanted to do in life, from my parents, from everybody around me. And maybe that is why I've learned to value freedom. Freedom, not only of the soul, of what you want to do, but also the freedom of prisoners behind the walls of a prison. When I first walked in to the jail or prison or correctional home as we call it today, I never realized that I was going to become a life convict, that I will be jailed for life with the love and respect of people there. When I went there, the girls wanted to learn dance. They requested the former IG and the minister to request me, and I readily agreed because I was curious, like many others, as to what their life was like. What were they like? When I was coming out, I noticed the boys walking aimlessly without a future. I don't know why I felt sorry for their mothers, being a mother myself. No child is born a criminal or an offender. Things happen for various reasons, and we are fortunate that we have not had to face those situations and land up in a jail. We forget that any one of us could be hit someday by anything that could make us land up there. And once you're in there, you're stamped for life and you're ostracized for life. The power of a woman is to be able to love unconditionally without expecting anything in return. The power to be non-judgmental. Who are we to judge? Are we perfect? Am I perfect? And finally, the power to be able to forgive. I think the people inside have made me, they have transformed me. My thoughts, my actions, my attitude, and my meaning of life. Today, I don't judge anybody. You may not believe that I don't even go to judge any dance competitions anymore. I have no exams in my school. Everybody is free to learn as and when they want. There is no compulsion. And believe me, they have taught me to forgive. And that has enriched me. It has purified me. And they have given me 200% in return of my 100% that I could give them. When I talk about a women power, what I mean to say is that, if I was a man, maybe I couldn't have done what I did. A mother's love and bonding, it's so strong. Mother's love is different. A father's love is different. Fathers also love, but their expression is different. As a mother, I can go and hold them, hug them, hit them. I do everything. But a man is usually not so expressive either way. And when that touch happened, nobody touches them because they're despised. People fear them. But when I went, the first thing I told them was, I'm never going to ask why you're here. I'm never going to judge you. It was maybe a sentence then. I said it without probably feeling that I was not going to judge them. But it happened. It happened so naturally. When they first performed, I'll make it short because it's a long story, I could go on and on. When they first performed at a public auditorium, there was one policeman for every individual. They couldn't even go from one side to the other without an escort from behind the curtain. It was that strict. But when they got a standing ovation after their performance, everything changed. They got their dignity back, they got their self-esteem back, and they got the trust of the people back. And they never wanted to lose that again. So all my boys and girls who have been released so far, more than 100 of them, they are all leading normal, healthy life. Not even one has gone back to the dark world. I'll come to the children of the prisoners. There are children who live with their mothers in the prison till they're 6 years old, and they live like prisoners. I don't know the rules or the laws of the land, but they are not allowed to come out either. Yes, I started a little Montessori for them, which is as good as any upmarket Montessori. I thank the jail authorities for providing that space for us, and my friends go and teach there. It's been 4 years now. And once they're out of there, that is another pathetic situation because they have no one to take care of them at home. How many people can I provide for? Yes, I have taken responsibility of some of the boys because, as I keep saying, there are no takers for boys nowadays. People do a lot for the girl child, but not for boys, even for little boys. And I don't know whether you know or you may not know, equal number of boys are trafficked, as many as girls. Boys are not supposed to cry. They don't express much, so we don't get to know much. Once I was visiting a home for the juvenile offenders. Now I'm stuck with them as well. They are into all kinds of crimes, including murder, and they're all under 18. They have the worst future possible because the society, the school will never take them back. And there are so many dropouts. And what do? When nobody accepts them, wherever they're accepted, they gradually move towards that dark hole and they become bigger criminals. I think it's time for us to sit back and think how we can stop them, how we can stop people from becoming criminals, young boys. And they are sometimes trafficked. They go into drugs, are first peddlers, and they get into all kinds of addiction. And just to provide themselves with that, they will do anything. So in a way, I think the society, we all are a part of it. We are making more criminals. As I talk about the children, I think I have said this story a number of times because it has remained with me. I took 11 boys who I support. Most of them are now, they have passed out. They were going to Don Bosco, Murshidabad. But before that, I had taken them to a local school. I wanted to give them a good education. Either their fathers or their mothers were in prison. When I took them, the principal was extremely supportive, and she said, of course I will take them, but who will be their guardian? I said, I will be their guardian. So I was a guardian to 11 boys. Now there are 3, 4 more. And when I went the next day with those 11 boys, she said, I'm sorry, Mrs. Roy, but I cannot admit them in this school. I said, why? You promised me. She said, I have no problems, but some of the parents of the children have a problem. What have these little innocent children done? But they grow up with the stigma of being somebody's child all their life. And that's when they get into the wrong world. Can't we stop them? Can't we do something to provide them the love and care and the education that they need to keep them away from the dark world? There are so many stories, but they are very, very, very witty at the same time, my boys and girls. You know, I also taught a dance to the police constables once for one of their programs. So there's something about my face, I suppose. They also started calling me Ma. And when they were escorting my boys to one of the performances, they came up, this constable came up and says, Ma, can I take a selfie with you? I said, yes, of course. My boys heard that. The next day when I went, they said, Ma, you don't have any worries in life? I said, why do you say that? He says, you're a mother to a thief, a murderer, and a police. So you don't need to worry about anything in life. I said, no, I have no worries because I have you all. They all keep in touch with me. And when they're released, and they come to visit me with their whatever they grow in the farm, maybe some fish, maybe some vegetables, and there is so much love. I think people forget that they can love too. They only see that they can hate, which is wrong. The love I've got for them, from them is something I will always cherish. It will always remain with me. And I don't think anybody can give me that kind of love which I've got from so-called criminals. Thank you so much.